Welcome back, everybody. This is Grillenheimer, continuing Transformer TCG with Power Master Thursdays. We have 4 characters left to go. Let's see if we can get them knocked out this video, and we'll be done with the Power Masters. Wow, this has been a long time coming. Okay, so I got an Autobot, a Mercenary, and 2 Decepticons. And originally it was going to be... I had made a character and I named it Varga. I drew it and I thought, oh, let's make one of these mercenary. And then I realized I had too many Decepticons and not enough Autobots. So this, let's see how we go flow with this. So Varga, Power Master, Battle Master, melee trait, with the subheading Aereo Piston, 220 HP or horsepower. And it's supposed to be the blades behind him, because we'll get into that. He's a 3-star character, stats of 2, 2, and 2, and Pierce 1. Of course, he's a Battle Master. He's only 3 stars. He's not going to last very long in the field. And when he does get KO'd, play his upgrade side, he turns into the Aereo Piston, 220 HP, which has a nice utility, 2 to attack, 2 defense. When you put this on a plane, you may play a Black Pip armor from your scrap. Now, this doesn't have to go on a plane traded character. You can go on any character and give 2 to attack and 2 to defense, which is nice. But of course, Pierce always gets the defense unless you have something like stable cover in hand, etc. So, but he will give crank 2 to anyone that flips at least an attack drone. White and green. When you flip at least a white and green, or flip for battle, flip 2 more. Kind of nice. So you can get that out of this without having it to be on a plane. The crank abilities are not idiomatic to what trait they are on. Only the when you put is depending on what's triggered. It depends on what kind of character or trait that it's looking for. So while the car... the one that I forgot who it is. Was it Lube? No, Sparkplug. When Sparkplug goes on a character, you can untap a character on your team as long as his the Hemi Vent countershaft goes on. When you put it on a car you control, you may untap a character you control. Another character on your team. It doesn't have to be the car that you put him on. So so with that in mind, the Aereo Piston here doesn't just give 2 to defense, but it also gives 2 to attack, and you can get a Black Pip armor card from your scrap as well, and still get the crank 2 on the flip for attack or defense. So not what's a nice Black Pip armor card. Well, I think there's the one that has the 2 double blacks on it that gives what, +2 or 3 health for your characters. And just because you put this on a plane traded character, you don't have to put that armor card on that character. You can, but you can play it. You can just play it. It can go on any character that you control on your team, etc., etc. So things to think about. Of course, most plane traded characters are in their alt side, except for like Windsweeper, and then maybe one other. But my base cards are coming. There are a card or 2 that can help make characters bot modes with the plane trait. Because if you remember in G1, this might break the game a bit. Autobots could fly. Everybody could fly in their bot mode if they wanted to. Okay, so anyway, there's that. Little bit of tease for base cards coming out. So let's look at the lift. Okay, like I said, I tried this before and I got a call and got interrupted. So I finished the Decepticons, I finished the Autobots, I did Varga. Varga was my mercenary, and I realized I had more Decepticons than Autobots. So I flipped Varga around, recolored him, and put in lift on there, and gave him some Autobot looking colors. So it's the same character. Yeah, I pulled a Hasbro. Oops, or Taka, however you want to say it. So lift is the same. Instead of Pierce 1, he gives bold 1. Still a 3-star character. 2, 2, and 1. Melee. So when he gets, he begins in bot mode and can't flip. When this is KO'd, play his GE9X Turbofan side. So let's look at the GE9X Turbofan, which is a utility that does give. Let's just do it. I realized I didn't have one, so he's going to be the Autobot. That gives +3 to attack, like my Decepticon, the Alt Cyber 91 compression engine, who was 6-ton. So the GE9X Turbofan is going to give also +3 to attack. So he also has a crank too. When you put this on a character, any character, Autobot, Decepticon, doesn't matter. He is an Autobot, so therefore he has the faction on in his upgrade mode as a utility. Reveal 2 cards on the top, off the top of your deck, and do 1 damage to an enemy for each upgrade scrapped. So let me change that. Scrap. Yeah. You can't have reveal and scrap. Okay. Let's get this right. I should have had this right before I hit record, and I apologize. Scrap 2 cards off the top of your deck and do 1 damage to each enemy for each upgrade scrapped. So, ouch. Maybe this is too much. Yeah. Yeah, we are in motion. Always in flux, the future is. So, okay. So, since I gave him a boost of 3 attack for a Battle Master, and when you put this on a character, doesn't matter who, scrap 2 cards off the top of your deck, do 1 damage to an enemy. Each is not on here. Okay, so that's fine. So I'm still going to leave this how I just changed it. So do 1 damage to an enemy for each upgrade scrapped. So if you scrap 2 upgrades, you can get 2 non-attack damage to an enemy. You can put that all on the same enemy, you can. If you want to put it on 2 separate enemies, you can. 1 damage. Okay? Scrap a card. Is it an upgrade? Yes. Do 1 damage to an enemy. Scrap another card off the top of your deck. Is it an upgrade? Yes. Do another 1 damage, non-attack damage to an enemy. Okay? Just like that. So it can't be anything other than that. He has, since he's a little strong, just like 6 tons alt mode as the Decepticon, he has crank 1. I had him at crank 2. I just changed it to crank 1 when at least double blues or 2 blues. It can be 2 blues off 2 different cards, or it can be your handheld blaster. Okay? Flip 1 more for battle. So, attacker defense, boom, the Turbofan. Of course, if would leave the battlefield, put it in your KO instead. So, there we have Lift and we have Varga. We got 2 left to go. They're both Decepticons. We're going to end with a bang here. That was a pretty big bang right there. I don't know what has happened to my computer. So let's look at, who should we look at next? Let's look at Veestwin. And I spelled it in a way that looks more like a name instead of an engine type or engine name. So it's V-E-E-S Twin. They all run together, Veestwin. So you're familiar with motorcycle type engines or not, you kind of know where I got this name from. So he's a 2-star character, Decepticon, Veestwin Powermaster V2 10,000cc, melee and bot mode with tough 1. So, and he gets any of those kind of cards that you can utilize with him in a deck. Very small, has no defense, 1/3/0. All right, and tough 1. So when he gets KO'd, he play his upgrade side, which is kind of cool looking. I did pretty well on trying to make stuff look kind of metallic. Not great at it, but I've gotten slowly okay on it. All right. It turns into the upgrade utility, V2 10,000cc, +1 to attack, +2 health. We haven't seen that very often. When you put this on a car, or motorcycle, draw 1 card. All right, so, and because he does have a decent bit of bump in health, he has crank 1 when at least 2 white pips are flipped for battle, flip 1 more, attack or defense. Remember that. While this is on a character in alt mode, it cannot flip to bot mode. That was not on okay, come on. Okay, that's on the aerial piston. And then where was the other one? Oh, come on. I'm sorry, guys. The turbo fan. Yeah, it's all there. It's all there. So, yeah. Just making sure all the text is here, guys. And it is. So, that's Veestwin. He can go on anybody, give a little bit of attack and a decent bump in health of 2, and at least crank 1 when you flip 2 of your white cards. And there's really no need to have a double white card. Now, I do remember Buddy made one. If I can remember where it is and find it, I'll put it up on the screen. And he did make a double white card, I believe, to help with Metroplex and pulling Metroplex's ability off. I think it's an armor card, but I can't remember for sure. It's been a while. So there is that. The last one is Torq Vent. Torq Vent, it's hard to see his legs here. They are purple with like gray feet, but I was thinking along the cone heads of the Seekers, of the original Seekers. So, oh shucks, that's him. I did not have his. So he's going to be a Power Master. And he turns into, well, he's melee. 4-star character, no ability as a bot mode, but his stats are 2, 3, and 2 since he's 4 stars. Melee traded, turns into the Kree V8 Vegemite Decepticon engine. And because when I did his engine mode, I tried to make it look like the part of his legs turns into, when they come together, looks I like the Decepticon symbol a little bit, and I got the Decepticon symbol on the side too, so he would go as an actual engine. And then you can see the point of his head sticking out from the front too. Really having fun with this. Now, this guy's a bit strong. He's actually too strong. I'm having to see one thing as I've been able to collectively go over these guys with y'all and reveal them in the process. There have been some small adjustments, and I just made the last one. So he's a Decepticon. When you put this on a car, your opponent reveals and scraps a white pip card from their hand. Then you may untap a 6-star or less character you control. So, think of the sports car patrol, guys. Boom. Yes, this would work with Autobot cars for sure, but you could really get some neat stuff going on with the sports car patrol here with Torq Vent. He's a 4-star character, so you take one of the 4-star sport car patrols out, throw him in there instead, and you can get some really neat, interesting action with this guy. And because he does have that kind of power, but this is an if-then kind of statement of basic language from an Atari computer from long ago. So you have to reveal your opponent's hand. They have to reveal their hand. They have to have a white pip card in their hand, and they have to scrap it in order for you to untap a character, okay? And you have to put it on a card trait. When your opponent reveals and scraps a white pip from their hand, you may untap a 6-star or less character you control. Okay, so he has crank 1, since this is a character to attack, 2 defense, and 1 health. Wow. So should Torq Vent have maybe 5-star, be the whole 1 5-star character? So he does have a possible upgrade, untap ability, excuse me. And he does have crank 1, which is white, black, and green. Okay, so it doesn't mean you need to have a neutral deck exactly, which are not very strong decks, but you know, be able to get maybe some flamethrowers or something with some bold on top of this character that's wearing this as a utility from his utility side. And that's another thing with these guys. They stay on the character until they're taken off by normally probably by your opponent. They have to have those cards in their deck, like Vaporize, Crushing Size, and whatever else that can make you choose and take off an upgrade. This is your only upgrade on your poor character. He's gonna have to go. You got a Quartermaster maybe in your deck, then you might be able to get him back and get that even possibly re-triggered. As long as you still have a card traded character active on your account that he can go on when you play Quartermaster. Okay, all these are possibilities. So, but he is a 4-star character. So with all this going on, his crank is only a 1. And it does take white, black, and green. Did I say orange the first time again? To flip a whole 1 more for battle, for attack or defense. So that's it. We're done with the Power Masters anyway. Until the Arc, maybe they have shown off their stuff by now. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it was the Arc where I got kicked off of it. Facebook for no reason at all. It feels like TFW 2005 all over again. So yeah, we got to go over Lift, Varga, Torq Vent, and Veestwin. Wow. I think that's it. I think we have gone over all of them. It's been fun. It's been a run. If you think these are okay, I mean, once I realized, oh gosh, I cannot have a character with just 1 health on them, because I had a lot of these with 1 health on them, and I realized they don't, you know, with as many stars as I even have these guys on, they need more than 1 health. Of course, some Titan Masters that are like 1 and 2 star characters, Titan Masters, a little different. None of these are 1-star characters. I don't even think I have many 2-star characters. Most of these are like 3 or 4-star characters. Yeah. All these are 3 or 4-star characters. Well, Veestwin is a 2-star character. He is a 2-star character with 1, 3, and 0 and tough 1. And he's interesting, and he's not that strong really. He gives you some draw power with cars and motorcycles. That's really about it. So what do you think? What say you? Base cards are coming. Again, this is going to throw some more kinks into the game. Not in an ATP or an ARC way, but maybe a more simplified way for the casual gamer. Can my stuff mix with their cards? I would think so. For the better or the worse. I don't know what would happen. But I think these characters are okay. I wasn't trying to make them too strong. Some of these guys were really out there. I mean, I just changed when I looked at the Kree V8 Vegemite. He had a crank 3 on there, and I'm like, whoa, I can't do that. I just changed it from a crank 3 to a crank 1. And same with Lifts, the Turbo Fan. His upgrade. He was like, since I upped his, since I didn't have an Autobot Power Master with +3 to attack, and we had the I had one over here. We just looked at it. That was it, the Uacon generator, or it was somebody. 6 gun, 6 yeah, 6 ton. Excuse me, 6 gun, 6 ton. The compression engine, 91 compression engine. He has +3 to attack. So since I didn't have an Autobot, Turbo Fan's going to fit that bill for the Autobot side. And be able to do what he does and make him down to crank 1, as well as 6 tons upgrade side as well. So trying to even a few things out as best as I can. More fun to come. We finished going through the Power Masters, guys, just in time for the winter, because it was 50 degrees down here in Alabama and it felt wonderful outside. Oh my gosh. Thanks for watching. Thanks for following along. That was Lift, Varga, Veestwin, and Torq Vent. Even if they're not very good playable characters, at least the art looks pretty good, right? So we'll catch you next time. You like what you see, throw some scraplets at that like button. Thanks for being here. Thanks for following along. And as always, don't have a great day. Have a blessed day. And as always, Autobots, flip out and let's roll.